What's up? It's your boy Hollywood. For ICYDK. In case you didn't know that blog. And we're gonna talk about Tory Lanez here on Sugar Cubes. Tory Lanez and what he truly meant when he said he's gonna expose his record label, which is Interscope Records. So what we need to do is go and take a look exactly what Tory said on social media. And I'm going to give y'all a backstory real quick exactly on what he meant. So, his tweet was, or his post was, Interscope Records, if y'all niggas don't stop playing with me, I'm expose what's really going on in that effing building. Now, Tory Lanez, of course, is signed to Interscope Records. He's one of their most successful artists over the last couple of years. Interscope Records, if whoever is familiar with him, used to be run by Jimmy Iovine. He still has a lot of high stocks in Interscope. A lot of people still say he's running Interscope. Jimmy Iovine is the guy who's coupled with Dr. Dre, and that they're kind of like, two peas in a pod. They were kind of like how Leor and Jay was right after Leor pretty much swiped Jay from under Dame Dash's nose. So Jimmy Iovine is Dr. Dre's I could say Dr. Dre's Jimmy Iovine's main partner. Alright, so Jimmy Iovine still has a lot to say about what goes on in Interscope Records. And there has been a lot of artists over the last few years. The Interscope Records in the 90s was major players, because a lot of death row artists, or all the death row artists pretty much, are on Interscope. And Interscope had it going on. They also funded Aftermath. So 50 Cent, Eminem, Dr. Dre, everybody was on Interscope. They've lost a few people off their roster over the past 5 to 10 years, but Interscope is still major players. So Tory Lanez, when he said that, now he's not talking about, I'm going to expose you for the crappy deals that you put rappers in. No. He didn't mean that. I mean, all labels have that. And we're used to that, right? He's not going to expose them for the 360 deals that they put rappers in. We know that. Let's get to the juicy stuff, Tory. What are you really talking about? We're not talking about, they put rappers in debt for lifetimes and for years and years, because they give them upfront money and they know it's money that they can't pay back. Tory, we know that already. We've heard those stories with all record labels. What are you talking about exposing Interscope? If you look at someone had commented on Tory making those statements, and I'll go over what Tory said and what he meant in a minute. Give y'all the exclusive here about exactly what's going on. See, you come to us for the backstories. Everyone else, anybody can report what happened, but y'all want to know the real. And on this site, you're gonna know what's really going on. Number one, Tory Lanez. A lot of people say, well, why say it? Why give them a chance to recoup and come after you, this, that, and the other? Number one, you're in a label deal. You're never going to just come out and say something, because you would be in breach of contract. In your contract, you have to sign something. Confidentiality agreement. Also an agreement that you will not slander your company or defame the company that you're signed to on social media or in the public. So by Tory saying he had to throw the warning shot, he's hoping that the person that's handling this will say, "Oh man, boss, he said he's going to expose us. What do we do now?" So that's why he sent that warning shot out, because the moment he would have put something out there and said, "You know what, I'm not going to warn him. Let me just throw this out there," he would have been sued, probably hunt down, stalked, beat up, killed, who knows. Killed? What are you talking about? Let me tell you something. That deal at that Interscope, especially they're still one of the main ones. They have you in 360s. They have you signed, and when they have you sign that contract, they bring in another person so everybody can witness to you signing. So you can't say you was this, you was that. They have a physician there to make sure he says, nope, he's not on drugs. He's not under the influence of drugs. He's not signing anything. He's not under anything right now that's going to, he may have smoked a little weed. He's not under anything right now that's going to affect his vision, his memory, his clear thinking. Yeah, he can sign this deal with no problem. They have all that there when you get ready to sign a deal. Interscope, don't take no chances with nothing. So, Tory Lanez ain't coming out and just start exposing niggas without giving them warnings. All right? What is he exposing? Well, Jimmy Iovine, as people must know, is also a alleged sex offender. He also date young girls and had sex with young girls. He's a big major player in the music industry, so a lot of women have come anonymously against Jimmy Iovine, but just never spoke out. Afraid that something's going to happen to their career, afraid that something may happen to them. What goes down in Interscope Records? What goes down in that building? Well, Interscope Records is mainly, and I spent a lot of time in that building over my years, and they know they're one of the highest, sexual harassment record companies. Always are. Every year, especially when Jimmy was in that office every day. Every woman in there is made to fuck Jimmy. A lot of the men of artists was made to, allegedly perform oral satisfaction on Jimmy. Women were ordered to do, payola for favor, as they so-called say. And if you don't know sexual payola, if you don't know what sexual payola is, there's a book out, right? There's a book out by a woman named Dorothy Carvello. She was the first female A&R for Atlantic Records. There goes that name again, Atlantic. And she has a book out called Anything for a Hit, where she exposes a lot of executives and people in the music industry. However, she left a lot of people out as well. But she explains to you what sexual payola is, where you are forced to perform sexual activity on a DJ, a radio DJ, a producer, in order to get plays and spins and stuff like that. You're forced to do that. You're ordered to do that, or they'll say, well, we'll just put you on the shelf and we'll get to you when we get to you. But you see now, you got bills now. You see what I'm saying? You got bills. So you just like, all right, where's the dick? Whose dick I gotta suck, man? I gotta get my bills done. So they do a lot of force blackmail. Not saying that's what Tory's doing, but in that building, that stuff does go on. Payola for favors. Tory is a heterosexual male, so we're not gonna put that on him. But he's also in the industry. He's also trying to be in the industry. He's trying to stay in the industry. He's trying to get paid for the industry, millions of dollars, which he has so far. When you're getting that type of money, once you sign with Interscope, you're pretty much at their mercy. Ask Chief Keef if you don't believe me. Chief Keef personally and purposely missed studio time on purpose, so in hope that Interscope would drop him. That's how much he hated Interscope Records. If you remember the producer Southside, another thing that goes on in that building is they set up robberies, they set up tragedies, they set up for their artists to get beat up and tortured by outside help or outside hires to make it look as though it was just a random hit or a normal hit. And when things like that go down, guess who is informed and guess who knows what's going on? Same guy I mentioned earlier. Of course he knows what's going on. So, also, they make you become sex slaves for your record deal. Mostly women, but men as well. Also, that same woman, Dorothy Carvello, mentioned something like that as well in her book. But that goes on rampant in record labels now. You know what I mean? Interscope, what's the chick's name? That left Interscope, they used to have the record with Eminem. She was getting popped all through Interscope. She couldn't take it no more. She had to leave. They was treating her like a baton. She got passed around so many times. I think the one I was on the record for, Coming Home. I think that was the one. But they use men and women as sexual kittens or sex objects or sex kittens to fulfill deals and to get their money that they rightfully deserve. All this stuff is going on. A lot of ex-workers that used to work for Interscope, they're going around and they're starting to talk now. So sooner or later, Tory's just the tip of the iceberg. Sooner or later, a lot of other people will start coming out, taking it to a platform where Interscope's going to either have to start shutting people up or have to start paying people to shut up. And of course, the deal where they, as I stated, they set people up for crimes. They go and have people come in and intentionally rob their artists for money. If they feel as though they're not holding in on their end of the bargain, they will set up a robbery for them, and the person will come and rob them and take the money that they've gotten back, that they've already gotten. They'll take the money that they've gotten from the record label. And most of the time, they know how these rappers think, so a lot of the time, these advances are in cash. That's how they started saying the bag. Because usually, you walk out of there with a bag of money. The record labels always want you, they're not going to give you, they're not going to give you a damn credit card. So most of the time, the bag means you walking out there with a bag. Next thing you know, they're making phone calls. Yeah, he's got the bag. He's going to go out to the strip club tonight. After the job is done, let me know that you did the job. Now you just got that money from a signing bonus or what have you. You going out to the strip club where they say they're going to set up for you to get $10,000 to host. And when you get out there, you go to the VIP, somebody robs you in the VIP, takes your money. They're behind all that. Takes the money that you just got. Now, you don't have the money that they gave you and you're locked into a contract. So now you're going to have to work like a dog to get that money back. Interscope is famous for that. Don't believe me? Go ask all these artists that are no longer in Interscope. Go ask Southside. And they all say they better hope they don't get cute because I'm going to just start exposing niggas. I mean, I thought you already were going to do that. You're going to start. Well, when are you going to do it? When are you going to start exposing people? Because they know that they can. They're just hoping that they can scare the record label just enough. The record label say, all right, here's another $10,000. Beat it. We'll give you another $10,000. We'll finance it and work it out in deferred payments at the end. Interscope is famous for that. And if you notice, putting it all in perspective, when the person commented and say, hey man, I just don't want to see you dead. I don't want them to kill you. Instead of Tory Lanez saying, what are you talking about? Kill me? Ain't nobody killing me. Tory Lanez pretty much confirms everything that we've been saying for 3 years. Oh, that's the difference. I don't care. I'll risk my life for the generation that's going to come after me, for them to have freedom and for them to not be enslaved. And then he went on to say not a lot of people care to do that. They're just going to bat for this stupid ass life the stupid ass thing they call life. That's what he said. And he will go all out for the next generation. If it means him dying, then so be it. Now, if there was no truth to this, if there was no truth to what I'm saying, wouldn't Tory Lanez say, what the hell are you talking about? My life ain't in no danger. Right? Wouldn't he say that? Like, why would you say they're going to kill me, bro? Because he knows why. He knows why. Interscope, when it comes to that, is on some you know what? And Tory Lanez is tired of, the threats, tired just like how they threatened him. Threatened him, we got you on tape, with I know what did you know what with you know who. Let's keep that between me and you, Tory. That's what he meant by exposing. If he gets to the point where he don't care what people say, he'll expose Interscope. Then they'll probably drop the sex tape on. They'll probably drop them recording him doing something not so flattering. Or they'll do some sort of humiliation ritual where they'll have him on tape with his receding hair or his hair gone. They'll do something along those lines to get him back. But Tory Lanez, you better watch out, man. Because Jimmy Iovine is nothing to fuck with. So just be safe. That's really what he's talking about, man. Those 3 major things. And that's a big thing. Making you a sex kitten to pay back money that they laid out for you. Or making you perform sexual payola in order to get the spins that you're not getting. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood, in case you didn't know.